Dan.
Yes, Terry.
Big news today, mate. Wayne Bennett has come out and said that the Dolphins are going to be competitive this year.
I'm going to have to dye my hair. What colour are the Dolphins?
Hey all, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport, onelittlefootyfan.com.au and the Stubby Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere. But Dan, we did hear it today. Wayne Bennett is positive about the Dolphins being competitive this year. What are your thoughts?
I think he's full of it. Of course the coach is going to come out and say, my team this, my team that. He can't honestly believe that. What does he mean by competitive? What, against Tigers? Or does he competitive going to make the 8?
I don't think they're last, but I don't think they're in the finals.
They're definitely not in the finals.
But they've got a decent forward pack to lay the foundation, but I think their spine's really ordinary.
Yeah, that's fair. It has improved. I think Hammer was a good late signing.
Isaiah Katoa is a sensational pickup from Penrith. He was
very young, very raw.
Led them in the Jersey Flegg Grand Final and has played sensationally in the World Cup for Tonga as well. So that's a big positive piece there. Anthony Milford has picked up some form. Jeremy Marshall-King as well, but that is a Tiger-esque spine.
Yeah, it is. Like, you're talking so positive and then put the boot in. I like it. But no, I don't think the Dolphins will be anywhere near finals contenders next year. But if Wayne Bennett came out and said, we're not expecting to be competitive next year, what's the point?
Yeah,
so good on you, Wayne.
I think they've got enough talent there to leapfrog the Warriors, the Tigers, the Dragons, probably the Titans.
Yeah, it's about their ceiling, but if they finish in 10th, I think they'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely they will.
Now, Terry, speaking of things that I don't really believe, Broncos coach, your favourite, Kevin Walters, has come out yesterday and said that Reece Walsh, their star marquee recruit that they chased for a year and a half after letting go on big money, is not guaranteed the fullback position in round 1 next year.
So the Kevolution, baby. It's the Kevolution. I don't think Kevin Walters believes in Ezra Mam.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he believes in Ezra Mam, and I think he believes that the way forward for the Broncos is Herbie Farmworth at fullback or Selwyn Cobbo at fullback and Reece Walsh in the halves, to my delight.
Well, look, if he clarifies his statement and says that because he'll be playing in the 6th, I can buy that. But in terms of the number 1, well, they had so many great options last year that they had to go out and buy a multi-million-dollar young player.
And don't forget, his favourite player, Tessie New, is still at the club as well.
Yeah, I think I'd have Reece Walsh a little bit above New.
Look, I'd have Reece Walsh. He's in a conundrum. He's their best 6 and he's their best 1.
He starts in round 1 is what I'm saying, whether it be the 1 or the 6 or whatever on his back. He starts, and any discussion is just a smoke screen.
Otherwise, it's the Kevolution. Now, Dan?
No.
No?
Wigan have said no.
Okay.
Bateman's not going to the Tigers.
Well, I mean, all the journos in Australia said that the Tigers were ready to pay the fee. Tim Sheens had gone over there. Wigan have come out and said that we haven't heard from them. Bateman said, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, and the Tigers have said, no, it hasn't happened. So apart from that, the journos are spot on, as usual.
Yeah, look, Bateman's a handy pickup, but he's a right-sided second rower, and they've just signed Isaiah Papali'i, who's a right-sided second rower. Yeah,
Bateman can play in 13, so can Papali'i. It's not a huge issue for me. I think Bateman walks into that side somewhere. I just don't know why.
He was really bad for Wigan this year.
He was.
He's been okay for England, but I wouldn't be paying $250K to get him.
That's the sticking point for me. If he said, hey, look, I want to come to the NRL, and the Tigers said, we'll take it. Yeah, okay, you take the punt. You're paying $250,000 for a player who didn't have the best year for Wigan.
Who got real homesick real quick. He was living in the state of territory that is as close to England as you can possibly get. It's like cold, miserable, raining, it snows. What more could you want?
Beautiful place, that Canberra. Thank you, Canberra fans.
How do you think he's going to go at Campbelltown?
Well, probably not well.
No.
I would assume. So, look, the bloke, not happy to come third for Wigan, wants to come and miss finals for the Tigers. They're good on him if it happens, but, I mean, the Tigers have let the story go and they haven't come out and said, no, that's incorrect. They've let it fester. They have to get the signing done or they're going to look very stupid. I don't think it's the wall-beating signing. This isn't Gareth Ellis in his prime, put it that way. So, get excited, Tigers fans, but don't get too excited.
Now, it's been revealed that the team looking likely to miss Magic Round is Newcastle. And apart from Knights fans, I don't think anyone cares.
Nobody cares. No. Newcastle fans have got every reason to feel aggrieved. Someone had to miss out. Now, selfishly, I don't care if the Sharks don't play Magic Round.
Nope.
I'm probably not going to go, to be honest. I definitely wouldn't go if the Sharks weren't playing. You lose a home game 50% of the time. I don't want to play an away game at Brisbane because we never play well at Suncorp Stadium. Who cares? Magic Round's just another weekend of football.
Yeah, look, we are one of the teams that has said if you need a home team, we'll take it, and obviously you forfeit your revenue or you get a percentage of gate takings or whatever. What's really odd is they've said that the Knights are the team to miss it because of fan engagement. Now, how do you monitor that? Is it tickets sold to the Knights Bay? Is there a survey? Is there the text messaging? Like, what is it? How do you get the fan engagement? But it probably just proves what we knew, and that's Newcastle have horrible fans.
Yeah, undisputedly. But horrible fans that can fill their stadium even when they come in second last. So I don't buy that. I think you just put everyone in a hat. You take your 4 Queensland teams out in Melbourne, and then you just draw one every year.
I think it's the 4 Queensland teams, Melbourne and Penrith at the moment that you take.
Leave them, absolutely. And I mean, you got to leave Manly because of the Brisbane. There's a few teams, but you put your Cronullars or Newcastle and your Tigers and that in. Pull a team out every year. Who cares? Like I said, Sharks should go to the NRL right now and say, we'll miss Magic Round if, and give some demands. And if the NRL say bugger off, say, okay, we'll flick Newcastle. I don't care. It's worth a shot. I don't care about Magic Round. Magic Round. See you there at Magic Round.
Now, Dan, I'll leave this one to you.
The West Tigers, my favourite team.
The gift that keeps on giving.
And we don't mean to keep mentioning them because every time we do, the views drop and the abuse starts. But look, when you're a team as bad as this, you get mentioned on funny TV shows like this. Tim Sheens, the man that sacked his opposition and hired himself on big money, has gone out and said Luke Brooks will not be leaving the Tigers next year. We want to re-sign him long term. And just because a few Tigers fans are a bit upset about that, we're going to bring back former club hero, 96-year-old plotter, Aaron Woods.
There's 2 parts to this that really make me happy. One is that Luke Brooks could stay at the Tigers and play 200 first-grade games with 0 finals appearances. Now, that would put him alongside club legend Chris Lawrence, who played 206 games for the club and only made 3 finals appearances.
Hey, but at least he made it.
At least he made it.
And he's come on Outlaws and Brooks won't answer my calls. So
perfect. The second part is that Aaron Woods is beyond a plotter these days.
Yeah.
We got his last good year out of him in 2018 at Cronulla, and he's disgraceful. Dragons fans, it's bad when they turn around and say, we will drive him.
Yeah, when the Dragons say, with their forward pack,
yeah, we don't want him anymore.
Look, Terry, I don't want to keep bagging the Tigers.
I do.
I don't want to have to keep bagging the Tigers.
I do.
Look, fair enough, but they're making it so easy.
If you're a Tigers fan, would you be a member this year?
No.
And finally, Dan, Quade Cooper has said that he wants to play rugby league. Perfect Dolphin signing.
Yes, if he has access to a time machine and can go back several years to when Parramatta offered him that money. He should have taken it. He would have been a superstar of the game. Now he can't even make whatever the rugby union equivalent of a team is.
Yeah, 2012, I believe it was, when they were trying to get him and Israel Folau, and when the NRL wouldn't allow it, Quade Cooper turned his back.
Fair enough. Time's done. No.
Yeah, I hadn't heard the name for a while. I thought he'd had a couple of boxing fights. I think he's been playing in France or Japan.
Yeah. Look, the bloke was a freak at his best.
Yeah.
Probably didn't live up to the expectations that he should have reached. But I mean, if this was 10 years ago, I'm driving out there and going, Quade, please sign this contract. Now I'm saying, you want to work the merch stand?
I don't know how old he is. I don't even want to look it up. He's done his dash, but I mean, perfect Dolphin signing.
Hey, good on him, but not for me. Terry.
Talk to me, Daniel.
Let's talk some World Cup Rugby League. I was going to say football, but that other rubbish starts soon. Who cares? Nobody. That's who. Semi-finals are set. And what games we have. Look, I just want to take a moment to address the critics of the Rugby League World Cup that said, you're not going to get any good games to the semi-finals. Wrong!
The quarterfinals were really entertaining.
Hey, good. You almost had the boilover of all boilovers.
I know, man. When Fiji went up 18-6, I dared to believe.
Yeah, look,
I dared
Joseph
to
Manu
believe.
he clicked into gear. Ronaldo played really well too, set up the winning try that not enough people are talking about.
Britt played amazing as well. For the fact that he only made 45 metres, he did really
Well,
well.
there you go. That's a typical Nakora
That's a great Nakora game.
game. Good to see him putting in for the
Kiwis.
Kiwis. But there was a boilover.
There was.
Well, not a boilover, but a slight upset.
Yep.
Samoa hung on to beat Tonga, as correctly tipped by yourself.
Yeah, it just came down to the halves. The forward packs bashed each other. The back line, counted each other out. Just came down to the class of Milford and Luai.
Yeah, completely fair. And Milford's good to see. So, look, the games are set.
They get the crack at England again. Let's take this time here to praise Lebanon, because although Australia dusted them up and we expected that to happen, they never stopped. Eliel Jarkim, who has signed today a development deal with the Parramatta Eels, is a player of the future. Charbel Tassapale, who should get a development deal at Cronulla, player of the future. Like, these guys are just, they as you said, they took their roots, they took their heritage, they went to the World Cup. No one thought they were going to get out of the group stage. Mate, Moses.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. A fantastic player.
This again is why
congratulations to Lebanon on what they achieved. And they fully believed that they were going to go and beat Australia.
Yeah, they did.
They may not have won, but that Australian team would have woke up real sore.
They did. Look, Lebanon won plenty of fans, so let's be honest. Again, I want to go back to the critics who said, why bother with this game? That's why.
Yeah.
Mitch Moses has just made himself like an international hero. Hundreds of thousands of kids in Lebanon and beyond. So, I don't want to talk any more negativity about it because it's fantastic. Lebanon, brilliant. Fiji, wow, surprise packets of the tournament. Dusted handsomely in the opener against Australia, as we all knew would happen. Came back, almost beat the red hot number one in the world Kiwis. If not for a refereeing decision that I'm still 50-50 on, but that's okay. If it was Todd Smith, he would have got it right. But the semi-finals, mate. The semi-finals set Samoa, England.
Yeah. Again, let's praise the Kumals as well.
The Kumals, of course, yeah. I mean, they're everyone's second favourite team, let's be honest.
Yeah, look, they bashed England, but at the end of the day, this England team are just... They're
skillful.
They're keeping the critics at bay, but now the critics are coming at the door for them, because if they don't beat Samoa for a second time, round one meant nothing.
Completely fair.
Completely fair.
Let's talk about semi-final, Samoa, England, the rematch. Okay, I want to put this in a little bit of context. I still maintain that the Penrith players have partied all the way from Penrith Airport to London Airport and wherever they stopped in between.
On the train to Manchester, first class.
That's it. And they weren't interested in that game. You just saw the worst game you'll ever see from Jerome Luai. Toto was terrible. The centre, who's not Crichton, wasn't very good either.
Yeah, Tungo.
All of them, terrible, because they're all hungover. They're not going to be hungover this week. They're going to be red hot against England. I think they give them a red hot crack, but Terry, I know it's going to make you happy. I think England are destined to make a World Cup final. I think they beat Samoa.
Yeah, look, 2 weeks ago I would have agreed with you, but I'm going for Samoa in this. I'm tipping Samoa to beat England. I think, as you've said, that the players, they weren't interested in round one. They just got off the plane, train, whatever they had to do to get there. They were hammered. But now they're focused. Before the World Cup, you saw the Samoan boys going, we're not going there to make up numbers. We're going there to win it. And I think they've got 80 minutes. They're going to give England an absolute hard time. England are going to bottle it. We're used to seeing it in semi-finals from my mighty Poms. Yeah. They're going to bottle it.
But Samoa might be in without two superstars.
They should definitely be missing Joseph Suoli. Now, that flying knee back, that's...
That was a drop kick. You remember Street Fighter? That was the can in the air.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
He's got to miss the game for that.
Yeah, it's disgraceful. It's a shame, but I mean, you can't be kneeing blokes in the head.
Now, Junior Paulo, as well as on report, has been cited, and people are saying he's going to cop a 1-game suspension as well. If those two players are missing, then that's advantage England.
Or England,
yeah. The thing for England as well is that this team of no names, as they were called before the World Cup, it was Dominic Young and friends, basically. They keep going from strength to strength.
scoring a lot of points.
They are, and if Tommy Mackinson could kick goals,
Yeah, it'd be
those
They've
points
got about
would be
15 goal kickers too.
Yeah, they do.
Trying to move on.
The best goal kicker that they've got, though, Johnny Lomax, is obviously not at the World Cup, so it was just whoever else was going to be there. But look, this is going to be a cracking game. Speaking of cracking games, Australia versus New Zealand.
This is the one we've all been waiting for. This
Should
really
be the World Cup final,
let's be honest. But the way it's decided, who cares? Gives England a shot. Let's look at that, because I think either of these sides dusting.
Yeah, whoever wins Australia versus New Zealand wins the World Cup.
Now, New Zealand have not been at their best. They came in as the undisputed second favourites behind Australia, for good reason too. I still maintain they had the best squad player for player, considering the Kangaroos were missing so many superstars that were playing for other nations. That said, probably Manu and maybe Dylan Brown aside, they really haven't clicked. And even Brown hasn't been that good.
And Dylan Brown and Jerome Hughes looks like a dreadful combination.
Yeah, I don't get it. They're two wonderful players who play completely different games. You put them in there and it's just not working. And I hope it doesn't this week, because, speaking of halves, Australia, who's their halves? Cam Munster and who?
Nathan Cleary.
I would argue that he was terrible the other night, whereas DC came on and looked much more at home.
Yeah, the thing for mine is, if you have a look at the two semi-finals, or three semi-finals in the last 2020, 2021, 2022, they've all been about Nathan Cleary, and he's stood up. They've lost a grand final where he was really bad. Since then, he's been the Clive Churchill medalist and was top 5 player on the field again in another grand final. So I think Mal's looked at it and gone, okay, look, while DCE won the Origin, in the most recent big games that you've got with a lot of skillful players, it's got to be Nathan Cleary.
Look, I agree. I think Cleary is the better player at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not in the form, but I mean, you go in, you pick your best players.
Yeah.
As you said, it's a
You
one-off.
can't have DCE on the bench.
No, you cannot. That has to stop.
It has to be Ben Hunt.
He knew we would beat Lebanon, and he used that as a selection trial. Ben Hunt has to start with Harry Grant on the bench, or vice versa. I don't really care. I think Australia can do this.
Oh, Australia will do it easily.
I wouldn't say easily. Now,
They'll lap them.
I expect New Zealand to lead. I think they'll come out on the back of the harker. I think Australia will be, James Tedesco will be, oh, look, I look so pretty. Bang. We'll be 12-0 down. I think they'll just run him down the second half. I think Australia will win probably 10 to 12 points. It'll look...
They'll win by 20. Australia are going to score 30, and I'll be surprised if the Kiwis hit the teens.
Completely fair. Like, last week you were right, so I would, Terry, whoop-de-doo. But England-Australia finals, is that what you're predicting?
No,
well, you're not.
I picked Samoa. Yeah, I'm picking Australia.
Either way.
Yeah, look, either way it's going to be fun. Like, I'm picking England. I'm picking Samoa or Australia, so it's probably going to be England, New Zealand now.
Yeah.
Which is great either way. But yeah, look, I just think Australia's class. They've got the best players. I mean, Joey Manu's going to get player of the tournament, and rightly so, because he has been the best player in this tournament. But
Nathan Cleary will probably win it then.
yeah, but he's not going to be able to put it all on his back against this Australian team. Like, they're just going to come wave after wave after wave.
Completely fair. Look, I think it's been a fantastic World Cup. I think the best is yet to come. No matter what the results are this week, the final's going to be wonderful.
And every player and every team that's participated, like even Greece, the teams that have had 90 or 100 points put on them, whatever, they're here. They weren't there to make up numbers. Yes, they got belted, but this is the only way that you grow international footy. Me personally, I'm not a fan of the pool stages, because you can pick your top two that are going through in the quarterfinals. Sometimes they're a bit bland as well. But we had some great quarterfinals. So it's been an enjoyable World Cup. I wish, I hope New Zealand beat Australia, but they won't. So
yeah, no, I don't hope any of that happens.
Hey, well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by Punctured Media, our good friends at Top Sport, onelittlefootyfan.com.au, and the Stubby Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Get your merchandise where you can.
We'll be debuting a special Stubby Club exclusive very soon. We're just trying to get the exact moment right, but trust me, it's worth the wait.
It will be worth it.
You know what else is worth the wait?
What's that?
Rugby League season next year officially kicked off yesterday by the time this comes out. It's the pre-season started.
Pre-season, baby.